PROSECUTE White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said Tuesday that the DOJ should consider prosecuting former FBI Director James Comey for improper and possibly illegal actions, according to Fox News. Her comments come just days after Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, suggested he wanted Comey to retestify, saying, "I smell a rat." Asked if President Trump wants the Department of Justice to prosecute Comey, Sanders said that's something they should certainly look at. Sanders said the former FBI director politicized an investigation by signaling he would exonerate Hillary Clinton before he ever interviewed her or other key witnesses. Sanders was referring to new information suggesting Comey had begun drafting an exoneration letter for Hillary Clinton before key witnesses had been interviewed. Sanders also said Comey, by his own admission, leaked privileged government information. She continued, "I think if there's ever a moment where we feel someone's broken the law, particularly if they're the head of the FBI, then I think that's something that certainly should be looked at," she said. Breaking: Mueller asked to resign. Slowly but steadily, people are beginning to see through the facade of Mueller's supposed impartiality. Recognizing that the special counsel is hardly conducting an independent investigation, some representatives have requested that the special counsel resign. Republican Arizona Representative Trent Franks says that Bob Mueller is in clear violation of federal code and must resign to maintain the integrity of the investigation. His reasoning includes the reported friendship between Mueller and Comey, which creates a conflict of interest regarding the investigation, according to the Daily Caller. Franks has accused Mueller of violating the federal law, which prohibits any special counsel from having a conflict of interest and, as such, should resign from his position overseeing the Russian interference investigation. Trent Franks, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, as well as one of the most respected conservative politicians in the nation, has made a number of comments questioning the validity of this investigation, and says that Mueller must resign to maintain the integrity of the investigation into alleged Russian ties. He elaborated, "Bob Mueller is in clear violation of federal code and must resign to maintain the integrity of the investigation into Russian ties. Those who worked under them have attested he and Jim Comey possess a close friendship, and they have delivered on the record statements effusing praise of one another." Mueller was Comey's predecessor from 2001 to 2013, and the two of them have had a personal and professional relationship that heralds back to the Bush administration, where they worked hand in hand. No one knows Mr. Mueller's true intentions, but neither can anyone dispute that he now clearly appears to be a partisan arbiter of justice. Accordingly, the law is also explicitly clear: he must step down based on this conflict of interest, Frank continued. If Mueller genuinely had a close personal relationship with Comey, it is more than justifiable to ask the special prosecutor to resign. Currently, Mueller is investigating Trump for potentially obstructing justice for firing the former FBI director, regardless of the fact that Comey had already planned in advance to pardon Hillary Clinton. Franks also brought up another important point, stating, "Already, this investigation has become suspect. Reports have revealed at least 4 members of Mueller's team on the Russia probe donated to support Hillary Clinton for president," as President Trump pointed out. These obviously deliberate partisan hirings do not help convey impartiality. It's impossible to maintain an illusion of impartiality with such biased and deliberate hiring tactics. In fact, 7 out of the 13 identified lawyers that Mueller hired donated to Obama and Hillary Clinton in the past, something that our president called out. The people that have been hired are all Hillary Clinton supporters. Some of them worked for Hillary Clinton. "I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous," said Trump. He also mentioned that he was aware of the close connection between Mueller and Comey, something which he described as very bothersome. Sadly, many Republicans still haven't been convinced by Frank's statements. Senator Lindsey Graham said that it could be the beginning of the end of the Trump presidency, should he fire Mueller. Regardless, With these details, it's impossible to see how any person can see this investigation as anything other than a political witch hunt. Breaking: Kid Rock obliterates Al Sharpton in brutal rant. Kid Rock is stepping up his political messaging as he considers a run for Senate in Michigan. In a recent rant posted to Facebook, warning, graphic language, music legend Kid Rock continued to prime himself for an upcoming Senate run. In the post, Kid Rock took aim at a number of liberal institutions that have become aggressive towards him since he started flirting with federal politics, including Al Sharpton. Has Al Sharpton even paid his back taxes yet? Kid Rock asked. Kid Rock explains that the liberal mainstream media completely changed their approach to the 46-year-old rock star after he launched KidRockForSenate.com. Kid Rock has not formally announced his intentions to run for office, yet the mainstream media is attacking Kid Rock with full force for challenging Democrat incumbent Debbie Stabenow. Pay no attention to the garbage the extreme left is trying to create, Kid Rock wrote, before explaining the mainstream reaction to his campaign. Rock explained that a recent series of articles accusing him of racism were only published to stir the pot, when we all know none of this would be going on if I were not thinking of running for office. Kid Rock was recently selected to headline a series of concerts at the newly constructed Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. The Michigan native was asked by Olympia Entertainment to perform 6 concerts to open the new venue. The National Action Network, NAN, Al Sharpton's civil rights group, immediately came out to denounce Olympia Entertainment for selecting Kid Rock, accusing him of racism for displaying the Confederate battle flag at concerts. When you hire Kid Rock, who is known to be dog whistling and catcalling to white supremacist organizations and the white supremacist community, outright, whatever you want to call them, and you take our tax dollars to do that. That's wrong, explained NAN Detroit President Reverend Charles Williams II. Kid Rock, however, thinks this is also political. Pretty funny how scared I have them all, and their only agenda is to try and label people, me, racist who do not agree or cower to them. No one had a word to say when we sold out the 6 shows at LCA back in January, he wrote in his Facebook post. Kid Rock lives in Detroit and is a proud contributor to the local community. In 2014, Rock was granted a NAACP award for his charitable actions by the Detroit chapter of the NAACP. Kid Rock has previously donated to Al Sharpton's civil rights group, but that is coming to an end. I am, however, very disappointed that none of the people, businesses or charities I have so diligently supported in Detroit have had anything to say about all these unfounded attacks from these handful of jackasses and the Detroit Free Press, Kid Rock wrote on Facebook. So for the unforeseen future, I will focus my philanthropy efforts on other organizations besides the ones I have supported in the past. I would, however, employ that NAN go ahead and make up these losses since they claim to be so good for Detroit and do not want me opening the arena and generating tons of jobs and tax dollars for the city and people I love. It will be interesting to see how the public will respond with their votes if Kid Rock does decide to run for office. One thing is for certain, he won't be holding his tongue. Trump's mansion on the Caribbean remains untouched after Irma. God just proved that he is looking over President Donald Trump. While Hurricane Irma destroyed everything in the Caribbean, his property was left untouched. The mansion has 11 bedrooms and it's worth $16.9 million. This is a clear sign that Trump is meant to be in the White House. Meanwhile, his Palm Beach Mar-a-Lago resort was destroyed, and as his organization said, the rebuild of the property could take years. This property survived a lot of hurricanes in the 90 years of its existence. Other celebrities had their houses destroyed and most of them don't know the details of how much damage was inflicted. As for now, it's still unknown if any damages of the expensive properties of people like Gloria Estefan and Sean Diddy Combs on Star Island. Also, Eddie Murphy and Johnny Depp's places in the Bahamas. Oprah Winfrey's Caribbean getaway mansions on Paradise Island and Antigua in the Bahamas. However, some other celebrities who have properties on Caribbean islands publicly announced their losses. One wealthy person who had his whole property destroyed was billionaire Richard Branson of the Virgin Empire. He shared a photograph of his private Necker Island, showing how much damage Irma inflicted, while he and his staff were in a concrete wine cellar waiting the storm to pass. "We felt the full force of the strongest hurricane ever in the Atlantic Ocean," he wrote. "But we are very fortunate to have a strong cellar built into Necker's great house, and we're very lucky all of our teams who stayed on island during the storm are safe and well." And now he is raising aid for the British Virgin Islands. Please share this post on Facebook with your thoughts. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment below.